Hey, to understand this video, please go watch this one first. It's by TheOneIntegral. He's got a great channel and an awesome accent. Go watch it. Hello everybody, Epic Mewtwo here with another theory speculation type video. And today we are going to be talking about Cyrus, the boss of Team Galactic. Now, a couple things to keep in mind with this theory. One, I'm going to be referencing the video that I showed you guys in the beginning of this video a lot, so make sure you know that video. We are going to be using the Delta theory a lot, and we are going to assume that Diamond and Pearl remakes will happen. So with all that in mind, let's get into this theory. I always thought that if multiverse theory was real, another version of you, or very similar to you, would exist in an alternate dimension. An example of this is the Archie from the non-Mega dimension, which would be Sapphire and Emerald, looking a bit different than the Archie from Alpha Sapphire. Even though they're technically the same person, they're from the two different dimensions, so they look a little bit different, but they have the same personality and such. So what I was thinking for this theory was, when Cyrus gets tossed into another dimension, obviously the dimension that he ends up in is the dimension with Mega Evolution, and we're also assuming that he lands on Sinnoh, probably Mount Coronet, since it's the same location. And I think that he will actually meet the Cyrus of that dimension. So that's assuming that the non-Mega Cyrus meets the Cyrus from the Mega dimension. That's a mouthful to say. So I have a couple ideas as to what might result from this. One, they might try and take over the dimension, or that Sinnoh, together, and they would both rule Team Galactic, side by side. So they would kind of, co-lead the whole thing. That would be pretty cool. The next thing that could happen was they would have a huge battle to fight over who would rule that dimension, assuming obviously that the Cyrus of the Mega dimension wants the same goal as the Cyrus from the non-Mega dimension. They would have a giant battle to decide who got to rule over that dimension. That would be a really cool thing to see. My third thing that I think could happen would be that the non-Mega dimension Cyrus tells the Mega dimension Cyrus about his dimension that he came for, and they essentially switch dimensions to rule. So the Mega Cyrus would go into the non-Mega dimension, and the non-Mega Cyrus would be in the Mega dimension, and they would rule those dimensions. So that would be a very interesting thing if they sort of switched, because it would be really weird for, everybody in Sinnoh, in the non-Mega Sinnoh, to come back to, another Cyrus there and like, what? Who are you? And it's actually the other dimension Cyrus. That would be pretty neat. And then the last thing that I think could happen, which this is my least favorite one to be honest, but because there's two of the same person technically in one dimension, they both disappear because of space and time shenanigans. That's a kind of a theory that if like, oh, you go into another dimension and then you like shake hands with the you of the other dimension, you both like disappear or explode or something like that. That could happen, but I highly doubt that, especially in a Pokemon game, that would be something that would happen. So I think that the first three would be the most likely. Probably more 1 and 2 than 3. I don't know, because that's just what I think would happen. I don't think that they would have like the other Cyrus switch. It would be cool, but I don't know. I just don't get that. Or not get. I don't get the feeling, that's what I meant to say, that, they would do that in a Pokemon game. I don't know why, I just don't get that kind of vibe. But I do think that they might be able to pull off a big battle between them. That would be super cool, and obviously they could pull off both Cyruses running Team Galactic. Now, something cool about that could be that, you see like one Cyrus throughout the story, and you also see the other Cyrus, but you don't realize that it's two different people. So you're kind of, it's like you're seeing the same person almost, but they're the two different ones. And then at the end, when you get to Mount Coronet, you see the two Cyruses standing side by side, or wherever, the end of the game or legendary area is. You see both Cyruses standing side by side, and you're like, whoa, there's both of them from the other dimension. That would be such a big bomb drop. That would be super cool. And then actually, there was one more idea I had that didn't relate necessarily to Cyrus going back to Galactic, but it does relate to the second Cyrus. What I was thinking would happen here is that Cyrus would, go into the Mega Dimension, the non-Mega Cyrus would go into the Mega Dimension, and he would see the Mega Dimension Cyrus and, all that he's doing, trying to take over, the Red Chain, all the events of Diamond and Pearl and such, and he would realize the error of his ways, and that would lead him to help the player throughout the story. That would also be super cool. You would maybe, get to fight side by side with Cyrus, or eventually that battle between the I cannot speak. Eventually the battle between the two Cyruses would happen, but it wouldn't be to rule over the dimension. It would be, the non-Mega Cyrus fighting against the Mega Cyrus. So yeah, that's my idea for this theory where Cyrus gets sucked into the Mega Dimension. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. And always, have a great day. Thank you for watching. Oh yeah, and special thanks to TheOneIntegral for letting me kind of follow up on his theory there. Epic Mewtwo out. Peace.